Greetings and welcome back once again to Ney at the Katzbach in JTS slash WDS campaign Leipzig. So, without further ado, let's see what my opponent has done to respond to what I did. Let's pause it real quick, just see what we can see. Alrighty, so horse guns, light guns, behind which there is just a mass of landwehr and skirmishers in front. Makes sense. Over here we got more landwehr and more landwehr, including a wagon and a jet officer. Here we have got hussars and mounted Jaeger, probably. Here we got heavy guns, East Prussian Grenadier Battalion split in two, and then Oberst-Heer. Light guns, more what look like grenadiers, more landwehr, some regular old musketeers, landwehr, 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 and landwehr. More regulars, 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 with behind which are guns. Those 6-pounders are probably going to rout this because they're going to blast them at point blank range. So it's going to hurt unbelievably so. But all things told, we'll just have to wait and see. But I suspect it's going to hurt a lot. Hello, what have we got up here? What have we spotted? Just a hell of a lot more Cossacks. There is just hundreds and hundreds of Cossacks up here. We did, however, in that cavalry charge that we pulled off with the first and second squadrons of the 4th Chasseur, rout 3 squadrons. Well, probably a whole squadron and half a squadron. So we routed a whole and half squadron in that. We disordered at least another squadron and a half here. Their counter-charge will probably hurt because they'll charge into their side, probably routing them. But the fact that there's now going to be a swirling cavalry battle going on means we could do stuff with that. Over here, nothing's been, quote, spotted, or nothing new, just more infantry, more guns, and just other bits and bobs. Obviously, those Cossacks. I got that skirmisher company still sitting there. I think, for the most part, we are fairly okay. This half squadron is probably going to be obliterated just by being blasted in the face by guns, but better that than the alternative. So he's moving gun. He opens fire. No effect. He's pulling his guns back. And what's he doing? Moving his Cossacks back by the looks of it? Yeah. He's pulling his Cossacks back and round, probably. I have, however, done what I needed for the most part with the plan. I distracted him here. Oof. Those must be heavy 12s. Alright, he's pulling back to the stream. The Cossacks continue to pull back. And then he throws out all those skirmishers again. He's going to place guns up there, which will sort of interrupt my ability to push through. Some indirect fire. And he's pulling his skirmishers back to the other side of the stream. There's 5 men. Oh yeah, there's lines there. That would do it. Continues to pull back his Cossacks over here. Makes sense. What's he doing? Recombining them? This is gonna hurt. Oof. Given the fact that there's the stream here, I'm actually probably going to break out into open order. Because the cavalry can't charge me because of the stream, so I will break out into open order and just start plinking at him. Oof. These are definitely going to rout, given their D quality. Yeah, there's almost nothing left of that half squadron at this point. Nice! We sniped the crew off one of the guns. Very nice. So yeah, I'm definitely going to break out into open order here. For several reasons actually. He pulls back the guns, turns those. Yeah, pulls back, forms new lines. It makes sense why he's doing it. This is going to hurt. Not as much as I thought it would, to be fair. So again, throwing out the skirmishers in front does 2 things for him, really. Prevents me from getting easily close. And allows him to just attrition me. Slowly but surely. still, if he's not careful, the Prussian position is going to be fit. Well, not even the Prussian position, just the Allied position in general is fairly dodgy. He's charging back. As I said, big cavalry scrum is going to start erupting. He charges that way. Charges that way, yeah. And then he's going to throw Cossacks in front of me in large numbers, or charge me in the face to drive me back. Yep, here they come. They're charging up the hill. They're charging me. So it depends on how these various Russian charges go. And now it's just plinking away a bit. They drive them back. Drive them back. Oof. Drives me back. Alrighty, lots of things happen. 10 units out of 31 rout. So, as I said, those would rout. These didn't, interestingly. So, Neapolitan Chasseur half squadron routed. 2nd of the 59th routed. That would probably be there. 6th of the 32nd line routed. There, probably. 2nd Squadron of the 6th Lancers, over here, definitely. Elements of the 12th, they've routed. Elements of the 7th. Yeah, so it was mostly just the cavalry. Some random bridge damage. 6 units rallied out of 8 checked. 6 units recovered fatigue. 9 units undisordered out of 46. So, all things considered, so if we look, yeah, there's the 6th, there's the 7th. So let's say we pull them back real quick. What elements? You are the 12th. You can charge, you can charge, you can charge, you can charge, you can charge. They're all disordered because these Baden infantry got charged and routed. But that's not surprising, given that they got charged by over 300 Cossacks. All of you could charge, if needed. You're disordered, you're disordered, you're disordered, disordered, disordered and sort of cut off. So first things first, let's do what we need to do. Let's bring up the elements of the cavalry brigade, as usual. The 9th Hussars will ride up. The Lancers will come up. And then the last elements of the Hussars will as well. as they are to sort of go round and help. Now, they got routed, an element of the Hessians. They will go up there and they will form square. Are they cowering inside the square? I'm not sure. No, not here. They're not. So they'll point blank range them. They cannot form square. They're routing. These boys can, so they will. And the Baden guns will go in the square. These 12th chasseurs will fall back and look to reorder. I'll pull back the Baden line in a second to try and reorder them as well. General Rousseau will have to go over there to try and reorder for sure. He'll have to go there, form square, and form square. Just to stop him from doing anything too crazy. That was a misclick. Whoops. But I'll take... Yeah, it doesn't matter that much, thankfully. It wasn't a catastrophic one. So, over here, what to do? You will plink at those Cossacks. You, the 11th Hussar, the 11th Chasseur, you will charge into them there. You will charge them head on as well. You are the 12th Chasseur. The 11th will charge there. And then I'll bring up the last elements of the 11th to support. We'll go there, unlimber. Let's do the regular guns, actually, before I do anything else. But let's do this one first. We will blast them. Taking out 32 Cossacks, that's perfectly fine for me. Get rid of a gun there. What are you? You're the 6-pounders, so you can shoot at the Alexandra Hussars there. You are 12-pounders, but you're a little too far away for my liking. I take that back. That was one hell of a shot from them. The Italian horse guns will blast at these guns. As we start to just try and nip out some of these guns. We can, if we nip out some of the guns, we'll be perfectly acceptable, in my opinion. So you will blast them. Who's next? 6-pounder horse from the Nepalese horse artillery. You are heavy guns and you're up there. Again, you're a little too far away for my liking, but needs must. You are not going to fire. You... Who can you fire at? Anyone? Not really. So you'll attempt to lob a shell over, because you actually have shells, because you're a howitzer. Foot artillery. Again, attempting to just pick off some guns. Is it doing anything? Probably not. If nothing else, it's giving them something to think about. One man there. No effect back. 2 men. Shoot them while you can. Howitzer. 6-inch howitzer. Foot artillery. The howitzer will go into the woods just in case there's something behind them. And then we'll shoot at the skirmishers again. So, before I forget to do anything else, we'll do that. They are disordered, makes sense. They are disordered because they took a whiff of canister in the face. But they did not rout, which is the key thing here. So, going back to what we were doing, which is the various cavalry the big ass cavalry scrum we've got ongoing. We are going to try and escape that before that becomes more catastrophic, to say the least. These are second lancers who are over here fighting. So these lot will come up and support. Vautier is to lead the... There's 400 hussars there, so... First squadron... They are to charge. They will be supported by the 3rd squadron, who will also charge. I could support him with the 4th squadron as well, just to be extra nuanced, but I will not. They will come up and support. As will Vautier and the 20th. They can move up to there. Now, the 9th Hussars here. Not the 9th Hussars, the 11th Hussars. Let's see, can they reach? Yes, they can. And they shall charge. They shall countercharge these White Russian Hussars. The White Russian Hussars will bring up the 24th Chasseur and the 23rd Chasseur. They are to basically come up and basically provide a backbone for what's going on here. Now, infantry-wise, with the cavalry scrum ongoing and in full swing, they are to... this lot are to fall back to there, I think. It's not brilliant, actually, now that I think about it, but... ugh, needs must, I guess. The bigger thing I could do is I could move up these Hessian Guard to try and assist. And I think I will. So this lot will fall back temporarily to try and regroup. At which point the Hessians will take over. The Hessian Guard will take over. Now, infantry-wise, we will go... These will pull back. And these boys will start going forward. So General Rickard's division is now about to advance quite nicely into an assault position. He might be able to charge them in the side, but all things considered, well, I will take that quite nicely. This assault column is now gonna head... while I can't charge this cavalry, it will, quote, sort of force them back, if from no other reason than space. They won't want to headlong charge at point-blank range into formed, disciplined infantry. That's one thing you don't want to do with cavalry, for the most part, is for charge into formed into formed undisrupted infantry. Alright, 20... Right, let's break down these boys into more skirmishers and fling them forward. So they can do their, well, skirmishy bit. Do what they are bred to do. Let's bring you up and do that. They advanced too far to do much, but... And they are disordered. Advance? Yes. I would get away with that. They're plinking at me, causing fatigue and everything, but I'm at least, quote, getting away with it. So this battalion will form line, deploy its light skirmisher company, and advance. These two battalions will fall back, losing a bunch more men in the process, but in this case, I will take it as I work on not necessarily realigning, but reforming these elements that have been driven back. Plink at the guns, please. I'll break out more skirmishers. Blast. I feared that would happen. So I've got to try and reorganise General Blucher's division for the most part, but General Cicero's brigade. I'll break out the skirmishers more. This light battalion will fully break out into skirmishers, I think. But before anything else, they'll go there. Yeah, that's why I was contemplating breaking them fully into skirmishers. So I don't get blasted in the face and lose 40-odd men in the process. The general, in the meantime, is to try and rally those troops he does have out there. They can't unlimber because they're disordered. Let's bring up the Italian lights that I have here and tuck them basically up forward. Plink at them. Plink at them. They're all disordered. They're all disordered. What can you see from there? Plenty. So we'll unlimber those 12s there. The Neapolitan light infantry will shift. Can you get where? No, because I misplayed there. Oh well. As I look to try and clear these woods. These lot can just get out of the way at this point. They've done what they needed to do, so... That battalion is not going to be of any use at this point. They can't break into skirmishers. This lot, however, can. So I can continue with what I actually plan to do at this point. With this lot, because this force is so skirmisher light battalion heavy, this particular brigade is all light infantry. I intend to take advantage of that and protect myself from the Prussian artillery by going into open order. And by going into open order, I do another thing as well. Not just protect myself from the artillery. I will get fairly decent chances of, well, doing that, for example. Plinking off guns. So while, again, I've lost a good 2,500 men, that's not that shabby. Well, shabby is the wrong word, but all things considered, attacking... I've been shot at by a lot of artillery. They can fall back behind the guns. You will break out more skirmishers and throw them forward to plink at the actual infantry for me, as well as just, well, more skirmishers to plink at more infantry. And then the rest will fall in behind when necessary. These boys will head up here. And then once we get there, I'm actually going to, quote, do a nice little neat trick that I saw someone do once. There we go. Recombine them. So I advance in open order, and then I recombine once I get closer. They will go there, and then the other elements of Carpentier's force will move up. I might as well break them off into a third sort of attack column. So basically I'll have 3 attack columns coming forward. And I maintain having the Würzburg Chevalier watching my flank to prevent them from doing any sneaky shenanigans. The Neapolitan Lights will go forward, plink at them. Yeah, there we go. You will plink at them. Don't do anything, but it's the thought that counts. I lose 10 men there. The chasseur, I'm not going to do anything with regards to the Neapolitans at the moment, because they're just not in a position to really do anything. Now, the question is... advance, unlimber. You're stuck there, unfortunately, but you are in at least a competent place. You'll go behind there, and then this battalion will come up to there and form line. As I continue trying to rally and reorganise over there. Now, here is where it gets a little more difficult to do what do I want to do? Because, well, he's got guns there, guns there, guns there. So they're unlimbered, they are not. They are unlimbered and facing that direction. They are unlimbered and facing that direction. They are not. Which, in this case, gives me an opening. You'll plink at them. You will plink at them. It's not a lot, but any plinkage of 2 men here, 2 men there, it adds up. It adds up. So the 136th in this case will go, let's go 1 and 2. We throw out some more skirmishers from the brigade. And 2. Plink at them. Plink at them. Now then. Advance. Ow, I lose 22 men there. And then another man to skirmishers. But I am considerably closer now. And of course I got low ammo. Blech. They will come up as well. On the grounds of, while I've no longer have the skirmisher protection, hence why I'm getting clinked out a lot more. It will give me a fairly decent, not amazing, but it'll give me a good chance to smash away these various form line. We're going to get shot at, but I only lost, what, 22 men rather than potentially a lot more, so... Okay, I lost 15 there, but... Okay, I am going to have to break down and keep in skirmishers. We'll bring up the second elements of the... We'll bring up the... Ouch. The 2nd Brigade of the division. On the grounds of giving me more muscle to try and bash through this lot. Because again, it's going to come down to pure mass. Can I outmass him here? And honestly, I think I can, especially if I play it smart. Now, what can you be seen by? Nothing. So if I bring you up, let's break these down into half squadrons. Bingo. While he will see this cavalry moving forward. And he will get that one shot off. Thankfully, he didn't really do much there. Because of various reasons. The biggest being there was only 55 horsemen. And it was at a fairly decent range. So, they will go back there. Ney, I'm going to bring up to try and rally those guns. And then we'll bring these boys up and form line as well. And then the 5th Cuirassier will come up behind. And while they can't be shot at by, quote, guns now, because they're facing the wrong direction, we'll bring the Carabineers this way. Lose 1 man. There we go, we'll tuck nicely into there. Okay, they are not getting nicely tucked, but... So they'll have to be shot at a little bit more. But all things considered, I've got my heavy cavalry looking to try and break his line here. And then, while we're at it, let's bring up... What are you? You are Neapolitans. Let's bring up these Italian lights. Ow. Ooh, it's because the reason I got shot at by the artillery there is because I stuffed too many men into one hex. You will plink at them. And then tucking in behind will be General Zatucci's the 112th will go there and basically form to assault the elements of the 6th here. And then, what are you? You're 112th. You're the skirmishers of the 112th, so you can go there. You are also 112th, so you go up as well. And then these elements of the 6th can just stay behind. The Italian chasseur will come up and get ready behind these guns. Because, again, he can't see what's behind the guns because, well, the guns are there. So he can't see these Italians, for the most part. The Wurzburgs will bring you up. You up. You will plink at those guns. Nice! I'm just plinking away at these guns. He's lost 7 guns, so... Yes, I've lost 2,500 men and 3 guns, but 7 guns is not insignificant. It is not an insignificant loss. And then the reserve elements will come forward as well. And the reserve naturally being General Albert's division. Sebastiani will come up and look to continue gaining. We'll start looking to help rally some of the cavalry that was routed during the decisive scrum that was ongoing. Pbem, Sudan, and then... So yeah, we got the 141st, the 140th, and 2 battalions of 2 different Leger regiments. Still, all things considered, it was not the worst turn. It was not the best turn for me. Is there some worrying things going on? Sure. Do I need to panic and run around screaming just yet? No. Because the biggest issue will be this massive unholy cavalry scrum that's going on. That's going to be the biggest complication. 9th Light Cavalry, 10th Light Cavalry, different unit, typical. Still, they are going to probably rout the Mariupol and Arentsk Khazars there. The Kharkov Cossacks. They might not rout, but they are disordered, so we'll see. But it's going to be a real back and forth over here because he has the cavalry superiority. I might have, quote, come out on top the first time, but will I come out on top this time? We will have to wait and see. General Lederer can come forward a little bit. Alright. These boy, they can fall back to their parent unit. What are you? 151st. You're 152nd. You're 151st. The 151st will go up to there. Just plinking away in places where I can plink away at. And I, of course, go low ammo. Just my luck. The 152nd. I suppose I could bring up the 152nd and look to try and drive him from here. The problem is I'm likely to lose more men doing it than it's worth. Still, all things considered, I'll combine them into a big attack column of 1,500 men. The big issue is the moment I potentially break through, what am I going to do? That's the big question, isn't it? Bring up the remainder of the division. We'll bring up the wagon of the division. If for no other reason than to get its support. And then we'll bring up this horse gun probably. We'll detach those skirmishers there just to protect the horse guns for the moment. Now, over here, what do we want to do with this division? We could advance, but again, we would be advancing into a whole mass of artillery. Ooh, I may have made a slight error there, but not much of one. I don't think I swung out wide enough with the brigade. But I think it's only, quote, one battalion that's going to get really pulverized by these 8 guns here. The 150th will come forward as well. So this is going to be a fairly, quote, major assault by General Rochambeau's division on the grounds of trying to continue putting him under heavy pressure. And then I'll leave this middle division, I think, where it is for now. But I will bring Lauriston further up. So, Soyam, you are all in effective command? Yes, you are. Soyam's whole corps is in effective command except for 1 unit and 1 unit only. And the only unit that is, quote, not in effective command is the cavalry brigade. But I, for one, can live with that. You know what? I might as well bring these boys further forward. As far as they can go. Anything else that says, do this? Bring those pyos forward to basically garrison the village there. And then bring up the wagon. Wagons, wagons, wagons. When in doubt, you always need the wagons up front. No wagons means no ammo, means no shooting, which means you are just sitting there getting shot. Which I say, no thank you. So, I think that's it. So far we've lost 2,054 infantry, 360 cavalry, and 3 guns. To his 250 infantry, so I've literally lost 10 times the amount of infantry. He's lost more cavalry at 428, and more guns at 7. So let's do this. On to the melees. First and foremost, let's see what we got. You will attempt to melee them out of the way. You failed. Basically attempting to fling these various out. These various Prussian skirmishers out of my way. No prediction. How many people am I going to lose? 7. Ugh. Not fun. Ugh. These Fusiliers are very damn good, because they just keep causing me untold casualties. I lost 3 men. So 5, 10 men there. Trying to get them out of my way, unfortunately. It's going to be fairly difficult. Skirmishers will evade. But they didn't, interestingly. No prediction. There we go. It's not a lot, but there is now a small gap here. A gap that I can exploit in their skirmisher screens. So, Next, we got you. You've already meleeed. You haven't, so you might as well. Nope, and nope. Nope. Nothing here I want to do. I could, but don't want to, really, because these are fairly chunky. So, next is this lot. So, the Hussars and the Lancers are charging. The Hussars will carry on. No prediction. And then we got you hitting them, and then you hitting them as well. Of which I lose 21 to his 49. That's acceptable. No prediction again. 15 to 21. Not brilliant, not terrible either. Now, these Lancers could continue, which I think they will. If only temporarily. You can continue as well, so you will. You can continue, but do I want you to? What's my losses like? 437 to 570. If I continue, I will be fairly vulnerable to a counter-charge, because he'll charge a lot of Cossacks into my face. But if I do carry on, what's the odds? We might as well. One last one. There we go. So it means this lot could probably smash them out of the way and then continue on and capture these guns. But is he going to do that with the risk of then just getting swamped by my cavalry? Because, yeah, I figured as much. Not in obstructed terrain. So let's have a look. 49th Jaeger. All things considered, fairly bloody turn, but, and a fairly long episode, but with it getting into the actual combat now, they are going to last considerably longer. So, as I have more to think about. Still, I've definitely started to make him pay and sort of catch up with my losses. So the question is, can I keep it up? Because if we look, you can't melee. You can, but you're not going to do anything there, really. Realistically, so I think that is it for the turn. Unless there's anything that screams, do this. Which I don't think there is. So, I think that's it. So, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, consider hitting that thumbs up, subscribing, or leaving a comment. It's all appreciated. It all helps me know how you like these videos. But until next time, this has been Ney at the Katzbach, and I will see you all again very, very soon. So until then, bye-bye for now.